What if I told you that going no contact is just the first step? That true power, true transformation, comes not from cutting someone off, but from becoming someone unrecognizable, someone elevated and unstoppable. Maybe she left. Maybe she ghosted you without warning. Maybe she said she needed space, or perhaps she found someone else. Now you're sitting there scrolling through memories, replaying every moment, obsessing over what went wrong, and wondering if she will ever miss you. You think, if I just go no contact, she'll regret leaving me. But here's the harsh truth. What if she doesn't? Most men fall into the trap of believing that silence alone is enough to spark regret. They think absence is power, but regret doesn't come from simple absence. It comes from contrast. She needs to witness the undeniable transformation between the man she left behind and the man you've become. She needs to feel the void of your presence in a way that shakes her world. And that's where most men miss the point. Going no contact without growth is meaningless. Silence without self-elevation is powerless. To truly win, you need to master yourself in a way that not only commands her attention, but shifts the way she perceives you forever. This isn't about begging, chasing, or playing petty mind games. This is about becoming the man she never should have let go of. A man who redefines her understanding of strength, confidence, and purpose. This is where Stoic transformation meets dark psychology. It's about learning to control your emotions, focus your energy, and cultivate an unshakable mindset. When you do this, you don't just make her question everything. You stop caring whether she does at all. And that is when you truly win, because real power isn't found in validation from others, but in owning your worth and living as a man of purpose. By the end of this journey, you won't just know how to make her regret leaving, you'll find that her opinions no longer hold sway over your life. That's true freedom. If you're ready to take control, to master yourself and become a man of unstoppable power, embrace the transformation. Because once you do, you won't just be a memory, you'll be the standard. Number 1, the void principle. Let her chase the silence. She expects you to crack. She expects you to check in, to text her late at night when the silence gets too loud. But what happens when you don't? When she's met with nothing but a void, that's when the shift begins. Women thrive on attention, even from the men they leave behind. As long as they know you're still watching, still hoping, still waiting in the shadows, they feel secure. They don't have to miss you because, in their mind, you never really left. But when you remove yourself completely, when there's no text, no reaction, no trace of your existence, it disrupts her reality. She starts to wonder, did I misjudge him? Was he stronger than I thought? The silence starts working against her. She thought she was in control, but now she's left with questions instead of comfort. And those questions, they eat away at her. Most men think no contact is a strategy to make her come back. That's weak. No contact is not about her. It's about you. If you're counting the days, checking her social media, hoping she'll reach out, you're still playing her game. Real power comes from detachment, from being so consumed with your own growth that her absence becomes irrelevant. And that's when she feels it the most. This is where most men fail. They panic when she doesn't reach out. They think silence isn't working. But true silence is a seed. It grows over time, slowly unraveling her perception of you. When she finally checks back in, she needs to see a man who has evolved, a man she no longer has access to. That's when the tables turn. That's when she starts chasing. Number 2, the transformation mindset, becoming the man she fears losing. She didn't leave because she lost feelings. She left because, in her mind, she could do better. Let that sink in. Whether she walked away, faded out, or jumped to someone else, the truth is brutal. She didn't see you as irreplaceable, and that should fuel you, not break you. Most men crumble after a breakup. They beg, they plead, they promise to change. But you do the opposite. You don't chase, you don't convince, you don't wait. You evolve. You transform into the version of yourself she never thought you'd become. The man who is so focused, so sharp, so unshakable that she regrets ever doubting you. Right now, she expects you to wallow. She expects you to stalk her socials, to drown in heartbreak. But imagine the day she stumbles across you again, only to see a man who is stronger, sharper, and completely out of reach. That's the moment she realizes she underestimated you. And that realization, it stings more than any words you could ever say. But here's the key. You're not doing this for her. This is where most men go wrong. They focus on winning her back instead of winning themselves back. The transformation isn't about proving anything to her. It's about proving to yourself that you were always the prize. When you start moving with that mindset, when you start leveling up in silence, she will feel the shift, and that's when the tables turn. This is your moment to decide. Will you be the guy she forgets or the man she regrets losing? The choice is yours. Number 3, emotional detachment. Indifference is magnetic. She expects you to care. She expects you to overthink, wait, and react. But the moment she senses that you don't care anymore, that's when the power shift happens. Indifference is magnetic, unsettling. It's the one thing she never saw coming because women are used to being the center of attention, especially after a breakup. They assume you'll remain emotionally invested, still waiting for their return. But when you detach completely, when you stop caring whether she stays or goes, she starts questioning everything. Most men lose because they let their emotions control them. They get angry, bitter, and desperate. Every emotional reaction tells her one thing: she still owns your mind. A man who is detached, a man who moves forward without hesitation, is a man who cannot be controlled. And that is far more attractive than any apology, grand gesture, or desperate attempt to win her back. Emotional detachment doesn't mean you stop feeling. It means you stop reacting. It means you refuse to let her or anyone else dictate your inner peace. It means you understand that loss is an illusion, because a man who is truly whole can never be left empty. You weren't abandoned, you were set free. And the moment you embrace that, she feels it. The biggest mistake you can make is seeking closure. You don't need closure. You need discipline. Walk away so decisively that she feels your absence like a knife. Let her look at you and wonder, did he ever love me? Did I even matter? Because when she starts asking those questions, she loses control. Be the man who doesn't flinch, who doesn't seek validation, who moves with unshakable purpose. The man who cannot be affected or manipulated. Once you reach that level of control, the game is over. Number 4, social proof. The silent message that hurts the most. Silence is powerful. But do you know what's even more devastating? The proof that you never needed her. Women live in a world of comparison. They constantly measure their value based on how others see them, especially when it comes to the men they leave behind. She expects you to disappear, to grieve, to stay stuck in the past. But when she sees you thriving, surrounded by new experiences, new people, and new women, that's when it hits her where it hurts. Social proof is the most brutal reality check. It's one thing for her to wonder if you've moved on. It's another thing entirely for her to see it. When she witnesses you stepping up, leveling up, and being valued by others without her, she feels the sting. She needs to feel replaced, not with words or cheap attempts to make her jealous, but with genuine progress. Most men try to play games. They post thirst traps or force reactions. That's weak. The real power move: living your life so well that she questions whether she ever really mattered. When she sees you in high-value environments, surrounded by attractive women, exuding an energy that screams, "I am untouchable," it rewires her perception of you. She starts thinking, did I misjudge him? Was he always this desirable? Did I make a mistake? And here's the truth. She won't react publicly. She won't give you the satisfaction of a message right away. But trust me, she's watching. Every new move, every new connection, every sign that you are a man on the rise, she feels it. And the worst part for her, she knows that once a man elevates, he never looks back. This is not about revenge. It's about becoming the man you were always meant to be. The kind of man who never has to prove his worth because it speaks for itself. Number 5, the power shift. Make her regret underestimating you. She thought she had you figured out. She thought you would break, that you would wait, that you would always be an option. But what happens when the man she left behind is no longer the same man? What happens when you become untouchable? That's when the power shift happens. That's when she regrets underestimating you. Most women don't leave expecting to regret it. They assume you'll always be there, frozen in time, waiting for their return. But when she looks back and sees a man who has elevated, a man who no longer needs her or even acknowledges her, that's when the weight of her decision sinks in. It's not because you punished her, it's because you simply outgrew her. Power isn't about making her miss you, it's about making her realize she can't reach you anymore. The moment she senses that her words, her actions, her absence no longer affect you, her confidence cracks. Deep down, every woman wants to believe she was irreplaceable. And when she sees that she wasn't, that you've built a life where she no longer belongs, regret turns into doubt. That doubt lingers and eats at her. She starts comparing. The new guy isn't as mysterious, doesn't have the same energy. When you become truly high value, you stop being an option and start being a standard. And that's the worst kind of loss, the one she can't undo. But by the time she realizes it, you will have already moved on. Number 6, the return. When she reaches out, here's what to do. She will reach out. Maybe it's a random, "Hey, how have you been?" Maybe she reacts to one of your posts. Maybe she finds a reason, any reason, to break the silence. But make no mistake, this isn't about you, it's about her. She's checking if she still has access to you. Most men ruin this moment. They take her reaching out as a sign to open the floodgates, to finally say everything they've been holding back. They think, this is my chance. Maybe she wants me back. Wrong. She wants to know if you still want her. If you answer too fast or show too much interest, she wins. She gets the validation she needs and disappears again. Instead, respond with power. Don't ignore her. That shows you're still emotional. Stay cold, detached, and brief. Treat her like a distant acquaintance. Neutral, unbothered, unreadable. She expects excitement or bitterness. When she gets nothing, she starts feeling it. The worst thing you can do is give her closure. If she truly regretted losing you, she wouldn't be testing the waters. She'd be fighting to get back in. By showing her that she no longer affects you, you win. You are too focused, too evolved, and too powerful to entertain the past. That indifference, it will haunt her. Number 7, the unavailable king. The man she can't have. Women desire what they cannot have. The moment something becomes easy, predictable, or always available, it loses value. This is why men who chase, beg, or linger in a woman's orbit always lose. But the man who is unavailable, the man who cannot be reached, who moves with purpose, that's the man she can't stop thinking about. She thought she could come back whenever she wanted. She thought time was on her side. But now, you're gone. Not because you're angry, not because you're playing a game, but because you've leveled up so high that she no longer fits into your world. You're not ignoring her. You're just too busy winning. Women don't chase men who need them. They chase men who don't need anyone. A man who is so focused, so disciplined, so consumed by his own greatness that no woman, not even her, can distract him from his mission. Most men fail because they only pretend to be unavailable. The moment she reaches out, they fold. They were never truly unavailable. They were just pretending. But the real ones? They become. She will test you. She will throw bait to see if she can still pull you back into her frame. But when she realizes that you've become a man who cannot be possessed, that's when the obsession begins. She will chase what she once discarded, but by then it will be too late. This is how kings move. They don't wait. They don't entertain distractions. They ascend. And the higher you rise, the smaller she becomes in your rearview mirror. Number 8, the inevitable choice. Her realization and regret. There comes a moment when it finally hits her. The moment she realizes you're not coming back. At first, she convinced herself that she made the right choice. She distracted herself, entertained other men, and drowned out the silence with attention. But then something changed. She looked around and saw that no one matched what you had become. No one carried the same presence, the same confidence, the same unshakable energy that you now exude. That's when the regret sets in. She starts questioning everything. Did I make a mistake? Was he always this strong? Did I walk away from something rare? And the worst thought of all, does he even think about me anymore? That thought alone destroys her because, deep down, she wanted you to linger. She wanted you to still be an option. But instead, you became a force of nature, too powerful to be contained, too focused to look back. Most men don't reach this stage because they break too soon. They wait for this moment, crave it, and when she finally reaches out, they hand back their power. They let her waltz back in as if nothing happened. But not you. By now, you've transformed into a man who doesn't need closure, validation, or to entertain the past. You've already won. The biggest mistake you can make now is giving her what she lost. Because the truth is, she doesn't miss you. She misses the control she once had over you. She misses the security of knowing you were always an option. But now you are the man she will never get back, and that is a regret that lasts a lifetime. Number 9. The ultimate revenge is mastery. Revenge isn't proving her wrong, it's proving yourself right. It's not about making her regret leaving. It's about becoming a man so powerful, so disciplined, and so untouchable that her regret doesn't even matter. The ultimate revenge is mastery. Mastery over your emotions, your mind, and your purpose. Because once you reach that level, you understand one simple truth. She was never the prize, you were. Most men stay stuck in the past, waiting for closure, validation, or a moment that tells them they've won. But real victory comes the day you wake up and realize you no longer care. The day you look in the mirror and see a man who has evolved beyond who she ever knew. The day you stop chasing, stop proving, and stop looking back because you're too busy winning in real life. She will feel it. She will see the difference between the man she left and the man you became. And she will know deep down that she lost something rare. But by the time she realizes it, you won't even be watching. This is where your journey truly begins. Not as a reaction to her, but as a commitment to yourself. Because the moment you master your life, your purpose, and your emotions, you become the man she wished she had chosen, and that is the one loss she can never recover from. This was never about her. It was always about you. It was never about making her regret, making her miss you, or proving anything to anyone. This was always about you, about stepping into your power, about becoming the kind of man who doesn't chase but attracts, the kind of man who moves with purpose, who doesn't break under pressure, who never looks back because he's too focused on what's ahead. If you take one thing from this, let it be this. The moment you stop seeking validation is the moment you become unstoppable. You don't need closure. You don't need revenge. You don't need her to see your worth. You need to see it for yourself. Because once you do, once you commit to leveling up in silence, once you become the kind of man who cannot be ignored, you win. So take this lesson and apply it. Focus on yourself, your mission, your evolution. Because the higher you rise, the less the past matters. And by the time she looks back, you'll already be gone. If this message resonated with you, subscribe and comment below. I am unstoppable. Stay disciplined, stay focused, and always remember, you were always the prize.